Next game, Packers at the Colts. This line opened up Packers -2. Now the Colts are favored by 2. Looks like sharp money on the Colts. So who do you like here?
Yeah, so I think I like the Colts on this one. The first thing I wrote in my notes was, oh boy, I'm not sure about this one. So I thought we might be looking at a pick'em in this one, so it makes sense that the line was one way and it's shifted exactly the opposite of that at this point to me. And I think this boils down to this is a strength on strength, weakness on weakness matchup. The Colts defense is incredible. They've played very well this year when Darius Leonard has been healthy. We saw exactly what they're capable of when they beat the Titans on Thursday Night Football. They held them to 17 points and they were scoreless in the second half because the defense played so well. And then you look at the Packers on offense, and they have Aaron Rodgers who's playing at an MVP level. Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers in football. David Bakhtiari is arguably the best left tackle. And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling's been stepping up recently. Alan Lazard's coming back pretty much officially. He was designated to return from IR today, so that means he'll probably play. So that matchup's going to be incredibly fun to watch because the Colts will have to cover all these weapons and get some pressure on Rodgers to make him unable to throw the ball downfield and move things. Then the opposite side of the ball, the Packers have a weak defense. They can be run on. Especially they have one of the worst run defenses in the league. Their corner play is a lot better when Jair Alexander and Kevin King are healthy. I would imagine Alexander will be back this week, but we'll see on that. And the Colts on offense, they're kind of iffy. Phillip Rivers has been up and down this year. They don't have a ton of great receiving weapons, and their running game's more of a committee approach. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack things. That said, I think there's look ahead in this that impacts the Packers more than the Colts. The Colts are right there neck and neck with the Titans, tied at 6-4 for the division lead, and they play the Titans next week. But the Titans are playing the Ravens, and if the Titans beat the Ravens, then the Colts are going to say, "Hey, we got to win this game to keep up with the Titans ahead of next week." Meanwhile, the Packers are 2 games ahead of the Bears in the division right now, and are playing the Bears the next week. So, hypothetically, if they lose this one and then they come back and beat the Bears the next week, they'll be in pretty good shape in the division unless Minnesota gets really hot. So I think the look ahead is going to hurt the Packers more than the Colts. I think Frank Reich with a little extra time to prepare is going to be good. We saw him come off the bye week with an excellent game plan ready for the Detroit Lions. So I'm on the Colts here. I'm not sure how much I'm going to bet on this one. I have it down for 1 to 2 units. I'm going to take a good look at the injury report. But the fact that I'm with the Sharps here makes me feel good about this one. But, I could definitely see a case for the Packers if that ends up being the side you're on.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I'm not going to agree with you.
Okay.
I think the Colts are the smart play, right? Like Frank Reich, as you said, extra time to prepare, and he's a very good coach, so that's going to benefit him a lot. The Colts should be able to run all over the Packers. The Packers have a weak run defense, and the Colts up front should win easily. We don't know if Jair Alexander and Kevin King will be back. Like I have a feeling at least one of them will be back. But if they're both out, that's going to be another advantage for the Colts. And Aaron Jones is like a key to that offense. He's not going to see any running room because the Colts have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. And also the Packers are publicly backed underdog. The Colts are getting sharp money. Everything says the Colts should win. And also I agree with your motivation here. Not necessarily that the Packers will be looking ahead to the Bears, but because the Packers don't really need this win, whereas the Colts need it more. So I agree with you there. So I agree with everything you've said thus far, but it's still like Aaron Rodgers is an underdog. It just seems like Rodgers should find a way to beat Phillip Rivers at the end. Doesn't it? Like it feels like the Colts will outplay the Packers in this game. They'll outgain them. They'll be up the entire game, and then Aaron Rodgers will win at the end. I feel like that's what's going to happen. Sort of like we saw Ravens at Colts a couple weeks ago, where the Colts were outplaying the Ravens for most of the game, and then the Ravens ended up winning at the end. I don't really have that much faith in Phillip Rivers. I feel like he'll throw a crucial interception or something, and then Aaron Rodgers will find a way to win. And Rodgers in his career is 59% against the spread. And so I feel like unless you have a good reason, and I guess there are a lot of good reasons, unless you have a good reason to bet against him, you shouldn't. So I'm going to go with the Packers. I don't feel strongly at all about this game. So I would. it sounds like you're more confident, even though you said I don't know what to make of this. I'm even less confident than you are, but I'm still going to go with the Packers.
Yeah, and you kind of hit on my number one concern. Like all the numbers say the Colts should be the right pick, but my head and heart are also like, but Aaron Rodgers, man, he's good enough to beat anyone if he's on. I think people are a little bit will look at the Jaguars game last week and either say, oh, if Rodgers and the Packers didn't look good in that one, they're going to not look good again against a better defense. Or they're going to say, oh, they didn't look good last week. Now they're going to be pissed off and they're going to look really better and like humiliate this great defense. So this game really could go in any way. I'm just leaning on the Colts because the numbers tell me to do that. I'll probably stick to one unit depending on the injury report. But I agree with your Aaron Rodgers theory. You should never bet against him for no reason unless your no reason is being terrified of Jake Luton.
It's true.
Because that has worked out for me so far for some reason.
That's definitely true. I will say this. I like the Packers a lot more. Someone mentioned teaser. I like the Packers a lot more in a teaser because you could bet them up from +2.5 to +8.5. And so there's a much better chance Rodgers gets the back door and loses by 7. And then you're looking good in the teaser. So with the teaser so far, I think I like I like the Bengals +8 and the Packers +8.5. I think that's where I'm going to go with the teaser this week.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I agree with you pretty dead on there. There's really nothing else for me to say. I would maybe consider betting the Patriots at a teaser just to get them as a underdog, but that doesn't go through as many key numbers as those two. So I would probably prefer the Bengals in one with the Packers.
Yeah, Chargers look good too, like -8.5 down to -2.5. I like to go the other way, but I think the Chargers should be able to win by more than a field goal, or at least a field goal or more. So that's something else to look at. All right.